So in the last video, you saw me become a self-proclaimed master of welding. I have purchased my own welder. Got this Sealy Supermig 230, which is by all accounts powerful enough to weld up literally anything. Nice and cheap, Facebook Marketplace, thank you. So today's plan, I want to get all the metal that I've welded into the base so far body filled so it stops going rusty when I leave it, and so it looks a little bit more like I've touched the thing as opposed to just blown a load of holes in the thing. So that's today's plan. I've got a few more plates to weld in if the wire in here is good, because it might be a little bit damp. Got a few more plates to weld in, and then I've got a little belt sander to finish sanding it all off, fill it, make it look a bit better, and then I can start tackling the windows, which I'm really looking forward to. The back window on these things are one big curved piece of glass, which are notoriously for being very expensive if I was to break it. So I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to weld it. Welded in the little filling panels on this part last time. Didn't do a very good job. I must have not turned the gas on or something, because this is the panel I've just cut out. Tried to fill in some holes that were left there and it just kept blowing holes in it. So what I've decided to do is just cut it out, and I'm going to put a whole square filler panel in and yeah, try and redo it, because it just wasn't very good. It was just full of holes, hadn't had the gas on. This professional sucks, bro. So, new day. Just spent this morning finishing up the welding. I'm pretty sure I'm all done with that now. The filler that I put in yesterday has all pretty much set, so I need to do a little bit more filler work. Before then, I need to clean the bay thoroughly, because it's just full of grinding dust and everything. So I need to clean the bay, fill it with body filler, all the little patches and everything. Then once it's set, it's pretty much ready for paint, which is wicked news. I think what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to start stripping out the scuttle tray where the wiper motor and everything is, and try and clean that, because it's a bit of a mess, and it would be nice to get that done as well. But yeah, really happy with how this has all turned out. Pretty much all the welding is done this end of the car now, I think, so it will be getting onto the back. Need to get the window out. Can't really find anywhere that is affordable / in stock to get a new window seal. So I think I'm gonna have to be super careful pulling that out. I'm not looking forward to doing that particularly, but I might be able to get someone in to help. So yeah, a little bit of body filler, and then we should be ready for paint in the engine bay, which is... So it's pretty late, it's about half 7, 8 o'clock now. I'm kind of bored of dealing with body filler. So I'm gonna turn my attention to the gearbox. I've been meaning to work out what I'm gonna do with it for ages. I think I'm just gonna paint it with Hammerite like I have done the block, so it'd just be black. I've got the weight painted in the accent color of everything else. So that's gonna go on there as a bit of splasher color, but yeah. I've taken out the wiper motor and wiper arms and mechanism, because I'm gonna get that powder coated. It looks really groggy, in the scuttle tray, and I've just never really liked the fact the scuttle tray is always just left, unless you see some cars with the fully smooth bay where they actually cut the scuttle tray out and smooth it and everything. Don't want to do that, because still need to retain the heater fan and wiper motor and everything, but I'm just going to tidy it up. So I'll strip that down and I'll send that off for powder coat along with some other bits. But yeah, gearbox, I need to strip it down, so there's not enough left of it. I basically just need to take these two bolts and this mechanism off, and then I can mask up some little bits, and then I can finish cleaning it before painting it. I don't know if it's worth repainting in the end because it's all going to be black anyway, so I think it'd probably be fine. But yeah, whip these two off, take this off, clean it, mask it, paint it. Regarding this, got most of this slam panel sanded back and flat, so it's kind of ready for paint. Need to put a bit more filler in these ends. These were actually sort of like much bigger divots, even with the filler panels in, so I need to put a little bit more body filler in there. These are actually coming out really nice. The big holes that we had, they've come out really, really nice, really smooth, look far better. Obviously got way more patches in the bay to smooth off. Also, not really sure what to do about these sections around the strut towers. Obviously it's got all this like factory body filler or seam sealer on. Really want to smooth it off. Don't know if it's best to take it back and then refill it, or just fill over this and then sand it flat, which is probably what I'm gonna do. I haven't done this before, so I don't know what the best decision is. And then yeah, I think that'll probably take me up to full time today. I'm gonna be away for a little bit, so probably leave it here. Oh, I will show you this. I've just started cleaning up the scuttle tray. Still need to take off all this like dripping stuff. I have noticed that there is a little bit of rust that end in the seal between the firewall and the whatever this part would be called. Your guess is as good as mine. So I think that's the bit that's under the windscreen. So I'm gonna need to fix that up. And I'm just gonna quickly show you the rest of the rust that I found. It's up under here, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. So I'm looking forward to dealing with that, but we're sending it off for paint. So it doesn't matter, all gotta come off. So my brother came down, he recently picked up these absolutely immaculate Recaros. I think they come out of like an RS2000 Escort. Regardless, they are my absolute dream seats for this Scirocco. So I had to put my seething jealousy aside and try and help him fit them to his Honda Concerto. He didn't want to cut up the frame rails underneath his stock seats, which is understandable. So we ended up not doing it. But yeah, once they end up in the car, if I can't steal them off him before, they're gonna look absolutely amazing.
Man in the box. What? It is so stinky in here! This actually might be the worst decision I've made, but we're about to find out. Sand it all back nice and smooth. Because there's loads of seam sealer, but the seam sealer doesn't seem to sand back as nice and flat as this does. I think you just leave it like this. I kind of like the vibe. Yeah, the kind of funny green patches. Ooh, who put that rusty Rover here? Flintstone swap. Flintstone swap.
It has been a bit of a punishing few days. So yeah, back down at the unit. Sorry, it's been a couple of days to keep you up to date, but thought I'd get on with a bit of the welding in the sill before I updated everyone. That has turned into a little bit more of a project than I was hoping to. I've taken out the front suspension arms and everything, ready to be sent off to powder coat, but I'm just gonna grab my torch so I can show you where this has got to. So I welded that plate in on the inside, and underneath did a little job there. It's not the cleanest weld in the world, but it's good enough. And then I saw a tiny hole a little bit further on and thought I would tackle it and just fill it so it's not to get any worse. And it's sort of escalated into this. The inside or the middle part of the sill, which is the inner sill down there, is all rotten through. So I've had to really delve into it that deep. And that left me with kind of two options. Option one being stick to the deadline and just get the car roadworthy and get it ready to just get through an MOT and get on the road. But to be honest, if I've come this far, it does not make any sense in my eyes to just effectively cut corners and just tick boxes. The driver's side wing is off. It took quite a lot of effort to get all of the there's loads of this glue substance that is holding the wings on, and there's lots of just like brown rust hidden behind it. So I'm kind of glad we have done that. So I need to do that second one, and then we can clean up all of it, clean up all what's left. So clean up all this glue and all of the dirt that's hidden under there and get that ready for paint. Finish stripping probably the steering rack out, so this whole bay is then ready for paint. Yeah, get this one off and then just start going through the sills. I need to pick up a little bit of metal to start making up panels for the sills and all the parts that we end up cutting out. It's gonna be the best damn stroke on the road, but for now, wing off, start looking for more rust because I just keep finding it. I'm really glad we are doing this because there's so many spots like this that are just waiting to rot through, and all the way down here there's just spots all the way. It's also disgusting. It's got there's rust spots and everything. Also need to clean up the other side of the welds. Just in general, I'm glad that we're doing this. So yeah, I'm gonna try and clean up as much of that gum and gunk and stuff off of it now, which will just be disgusting and messy, so I won't put you through watching that. Depending on what time that is, I will probably call that a day. We're going to do something quite fun tomorrow. We're going to go and shoot some cool cars. My friend Barney's invited me to go and take part in shooting some cool stuff, so I'll certainly put some of that in here, but I'll not vlog it or anything. If you want to see the results of that and the other sort of things that we do from that side of things, follow us on Instagram because that's where most of that will go. And yeah, it should be really fun. But yeah, now it's time to get really messy and see if I can clean up this front end a little bit. Done this. For example, one of the threaded insets that hold the arch liners in, I just started grinding it back and it is rotted through real good and proper. So yet another panel to put in. But yeah, this is a good sign. This is a sign that I'm doing the right thing and it's not a complete waste of time, and sacrificing getting it done in June isn't a waste of time, because that's what I was kind of worried about. So I'm gonna weld that one last bit in. If my headphones charge, I might continue grinding back all of the wire wheeling back all the front end, just because it's so loud and I just walked outside, my ears are ringing because my headphones died. And then I'll either call it a day or I'll carry on. Regardless, this will be the last you see of me. So I'll see you when I next see you, which will probably be tomorrow, when I go and look at some cool cars with my friend Barney. We just went to an airfield outside of Cirencester. Had some cool cars turn up, so yeah, some cool photographs. We thought we would swing by 050 Supercars, which is just down the road, and see if A, we can get in, and B, if there's anything worth taking some photos of. Apparently there is.
we'll let you know when we get there, or we will get there and it'll be closed and they won't let us in. The Golf doesn't scream excellence, which I'd imagine might be a sticking point getting there. But we'll see what they've got down there. I'm sure it'll be cool. And if there is anything worth sharing, it will be coming up now.
Made quite a lot of progress on the car. Done a hell of a lot of welding that I'll bring you up to date with. I just didn't really want this to be like too vloggy. But what I have just bought is this from Heritage sill panel. It doesn't actually match up with this one because it's from a Mark 1 Scirocco. They don't sell Mark 2 Scirocco sills. I'm sure someone will know where you can get one, but I couldn't find one. So I bought that because I only need the back section where this rust patch is. Where this rust patch is in the sill there. So I'm just going to replace this outer section here where the rust where the sort of panel disappears back there, and then replace all the inside with flat pieces. The only thing is I need to basically cut this much off of this sill panel, and then I've got all of that left. I'll probably reuse this at some point, so don't really mind. But yeah, just cut this panel off just so I got the shape, which is not a great business move, but got to get it done somehow. Once I've got that done, I'll bring you back up to date. I've been welding this like on and off for the last like 2 weeks each evening, coming down for like an hour and a half and just ticking away what I can. So bear with me. We're just getting to the exciting part. We'll be done in a minute.